look at P.F. Starmer. He had an appointee, Pete Mandelson, and Mandelson was in there. And didn't they try to take down Starmer simply by nature of association?
Right. They did. So your point being, Christina, you think there's too damning in this thing for it to become public?
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
I really do. I think.
Are you disappointed? So are you saying you're disappointed in President Trump's handling of this? Would you like to hear him address it tomorrow in some form or fashion at the State of the Union?
No, not in the State of the Union. The State of the Union needs to be without ranting, without complaining, pro-America, what have we done, what are we working to do, and so on. Do not talk about, oh, woe is me, you know, the doggone court did this. No. Don't do that.
Okay. All right. That's Christina in Kentucky. Interesting. Look, I don't know. Here's what I do know is that this subject, and the reason I wanted to take Christina's call is because it is still very much on the minds of some, to the extent, and I'm not suggesting this is you, Christina, so please don't take it this way. That's not what I mean. Did you hear about this guy over the weekend that was shot and killed by Secret Service at Mar-a-Lago?
Yeah. Yes.
21 years old, Austin Martin, shot and killed, and his friends say that he was so driven to distraction about this Epstein thing, he felt he needed to take up arms and go kill the president over it.
Much crap on Facebook, and it's hammered. They find out what you're interested in listening to, and then they keep after you and throwing more crap at you, whether it's real or not.
Yeah. Well, listen, here's the thing. I mean, it's first of all, get to church. Get right with your Lord and Savior, because you can't be consumed with the things of this world, no matter how vile they are and what the injustices are. Ultimately, he'll sort out, okay? Hope you have a great day. We will be back to you tomorrow.
Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
Hey, it's Scott Jennings inviting you to join me on the unforgettable Gulf of America cruise happening this November 2026. Imagine it. Turquoise waters, white sand, beaches, incredible food, and insightful conversations about the future of our great country. Mike Gallagher and I will dive into the issues shaping America as we cruise through some of the most stunning destinations while honoring the 250th anniversary of our nation. Text cruise to 94878 or visit scottjenningsshow.com and click the cruise banner to sign up today.
This month, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use.
I'm Anna Eliopoulos with your Fox True Crime Minute. It took just 5 hours for a verdict to come down in a case that shocked New Jersey. Paul Canero was found guilty of 4 counts of murder, 2 counts of aggravated arson, and weapons counts in the 2018 killings of his brother Keith, his sister-in-law Jennifer, and their 2 children, 8 and 11 years old, shot and stabbed to death in their mansion, which was then set on fire in an attempt to cover up the crimes. Prosecutors argue it all stemmed from a business relationship between the brothers that went bad after Keith Canero discovered Paul was stealing money from the business and from him personally. The defense argued that Canero didn't murder anyone, that he and his brother were best friends and would never harm his nephew and niece, who he, quote, cherished and adored. Canero now faces life in prison when he is sentenced in May. There's more on this story at foxnews.com or subscribe to the Fox True Crime Podcast. I'm Anna Eliopoulos with your Fox.
The Point is KUSG, Hagåtña, Guam, 93.3 FM and 104.3 HD3.
The worst has passed. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That from the New York City mayor as snow begins to taper off after dumping more than 2 feet in parts of the Northeast, nearly 20 inches in Central Park.
I continue to encourage all non-emergency traffic, cars, trucks, scooters, and e-bikes, to remain off the roads.
Mayor Zoran Mamdani says multiple plowing runs will be needed, but schools in the city will reopen tomorrow. That may not be the case everywhere. Providence, Rhode Island, getting a record of more than 32 inches of snow and what's officially a blizzard in parts of at least 5 states. The high winds and heavy snow knocking out power to more than 600,000 customers. More than 20,000 flights disrupted through tomorrow with ripple effects around the country. Fox Business's Connor Hansen at D.C.'s Reagan National Airport.
Things are just slowly starting to get back on track here. Much worse in cities like New York and Boston. Today alone at New York airports, thousands of flights were canceled. Pretty much if you had a flight going in or out of New York, it's probably not going to happen until at least tomorrow. Just for some context, more than 22 inches fell at LaGuardia Airport.
Congress is back in session today after a 10-day break, but still no deal to end a Homeland Security funding shutdown over Democrat demands for immigration enforcement reforms.
That means that Secret Service agents protecting the president are not getting paid. That bothers Republicans, especially after Sunday's episode at Mar-a-Lago.
Fox's Chad Pergam on Capitol Hill. An armed man was shot and killed after breaching security at the president's Florida estate, walking in through an open gate as vehicles were leaving. The president was not there at the time. Tomorrow he gives the State of the Union address on Capitol Hill. The House Speaker has said the U.S. gold medal winning hockey teams might attend the address. The men's team just arriving in Miami, returning from the Winter Olympics on a flight diverted to Miami because of the big storm. America is listening to Fox News.
Bundle smarter, work better. When you're running a business, every decision counts. Now's your chance to make one that gives you more. For a limited time, get hybrid fiber internet up to 1 gig for as low as $125 a month. Plus, get up to 6 months of free internet and free Samsung Galaxy earbuds when you bundle with Docomo Pacific. Ready to get started? Try our free bundles calculator by visiting info.docomopacific.com/radio25. While supplies last, some conditions apply.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that family vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,000 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña 475-4545 or Dededo 633-4473. Family Finance.
Download it now.
The son of director Rob Reiner, Nick Reiner, remains held without bail after pleading not guilty to murdering both of his parents in December. During today's arraignment, the judge in L.A. setting a preliminary hearing date for April 29th. A former British ambassador to the U.S. is arrested under investigation over his ties to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
London police have arrested former UK ambassador to the U.S., Peter Mandelson. They didn't name him in their announcement, but said they'd arrested a 72-year-old man for misconduct in public office. And it appears to be related to documents containing sensitive government information Mandelson is accused of passing on to Epstein roughly 15 years ago. A similar reason was given for the arrest of former Prince Andrew last week. The UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer fired Mandelson from his post as ambassador last year after emails showed he'd been in touch with Epstein well beyond 2008, after Epstein pled guilty to a state prostitution charge in Florida. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
A wave of violence in Mexico now blamed for at least 73 deaths after the Mexican Army's attempt to capture a notorious drug lord known as El Mencho, who ended up dead. Some Mexican resorts telling guests to shelter in place. A catastrophic injury even worse than first thought.
American alpine Olympic skier Lindsey Vonn recorded a lengthy video and published it to Instagram Monday, her first time out of the hospital in nearly 2 weeks in bed since she crashed in her first race at the Winter Games in Italy and had to be airlifted from the course. She suffered a complex fracture of her left tibia, underwent multiple surgeries, including one procedure to treat compartment syndrome.
Dr. Tom Hackett saved my leg. He saved my leg from being amputated. He did what's called a fasciotomy.
41-year-old Lindsey Vonn is out of the hospital, but a long way from returning to skiing.
I'm in a wheelchair right now. I'm very much immobile. I'll be in a wheelchair for a while because I also broke my right ankle.
Lindsey Vonn hopes to progress from a wheelchair to crutches within weeks.
Fox's Jared Max. I'm Lisa Brady. Fox News.
Decide
decide which you want Nissan Guam to make. 3 months or 6 months of your car payments on your next new Nissan vehicle.
Both offers sound so good. Let's see. I'm going for the 6 months.
Great choice! And you too can get your own deal of the year. See Nissan Guam first today.
Craving delicious dishes with local flavors? Look no further than Mezcla Bistro. From our juicy burgers to flavorful seafood and local fusion, every dish is made with love and the freshest ingredients. Join us for an unforgettable lunch, dinner, or decadent Sunday brunch. Visit us online at mezclaguam.com or call 671-479-2652 or 671-489-2653 to make a reservation. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro, a true taste of Guam.
Who knew buying gas could help with your grocery bills? At 76 Circle K, when you fuel more, you can win groceries. Every 7 gallons of fuel earns you an automatic entry to win up to $3,500 in groceries every week at Payless. Fuel up and you're in. For My Rewards members, entries are tracked automatically. Not a member yet? Join My Rewards free. Fuel more, win groceries. Only at 76 Circle K Guam. No purchase necessary. Ends April 12th. See rules for details.
When it comes to lung cancer, early detection is the key, but lung cancer doesn't always show symptoms, especially early on. GRMC's lung cancer screening offers a quick, low-dose CT scan to detect lung cancer before it spreads. If you're between 50 and 80 years old and have smoked or quit within the last 15 years, this screening could help you take control of your health. Call 671-645-5500, extension 4891, or visit grmc.gu to see if you qualify for this life-saving screening. Don't wait. Take action today with GRMC.
Have a day, Guam, and good morning. It's 6:07 on Tuesday, February 24th. I'm Charlie Hermosa with a look at your local news on The Point. An 18-year-old woman has been charged with hindering the apprehension of a 16-year-old male who escaped from the Department of Youth Affairs. Trevina Brianni St. Nicholas, 18, who is charged in the Superior Court of Guam with hindering apprehension or prosecution as a misdemeanor on Monday afternoon. St. Nicholas' charge stems from a Guam Police Department arresting her on suspicion of helping a 16-year-old male elude authorities from after escaping DYA on Wednesday last week. According to charge documents, St. Nicholas, before being interviewed on Friday, was found in the jungle trying to flee GPD officers. In other news, for the first 4 months of the current fiscal year, the government of Guam's general fund revenues are tracking at $45.5 million, or 12.74% higher than projected. The Consolidated Revenue and Expenditure Report, or CRER, released Friday by the Bureau of Budget and Management Research, shows that for the period of October 25 to January 2026, Gov Guam collected a total of $403 million, while the projected revenue was pegged at $357 million. The CRER found that for the cumulative first 4-month period of fiscal year 2026, income tax collections for the individual, corporate, and withholding came in at $34.2 million, more than expected. For business privilege tax, actual collections also came in higher than projected. The government was expecting to bring in $120 million, but actually collected $131 million, or $11.1 million more. This was despite the rollback in the VPT from 5% to 4.5% that was mandated by the Fiscal 2026 Budget Act. More news after this. Guam Industrial Services, doing business as Guam Shipyard, intends to request another 60-day deferral of discovery in the $55 million lawsuit against the company as it finalizes plans to dock crane barges at issue in the case. The Port Authority of Guam sued Guam Shipyard at the District Court of Guam in May 2025. The PAG alleged the crane barges were not properly moored, resulting in damage to PAG's property during Typhoon Mawar, the Category 4 typhoon that struck Guam in May 2023. PAG sought at least $55 million in physical damages against the company and alleged that it continues to sustain economic damages to be proven at trial, emergency response costs, consequently damages, and other damages. Meanwhile, the Guam Preservation Trust approved a nearly $2 million restoration of one of Inalahan's most storied homes Wednesday and kicked off a search for new leadership as the organization's long-serving program chief prepares to step down. The board voted to move forward with rehabilitation of the George Flores House in Inalahan after the trust secured a $1.9 million federal award from the National Park Service. As part of the grant condition, the board approved the trust matching share of $565,000 and separately authorized staff to begin procurement of the construction services. And those are your top stories right here on The Point. Now here's Ray with your weather.
Did they have any money left over? Because I got some work in my house I'd like to get done. I'd like to see if we can get the historic preservation. One day, there will be a big sign over my house. There's a Ray Gibson slept here, or Ray Gibson's old house, or something like that. I think maybe a bid could be made for some of that work to be taken care of with SEM, what I refer to as somebody else's money, to be able to. I mean, in the very least, just help me finish painting the house. Showers likely, and possibly thunderstorms. Was it wet when you hit the roads this morning? It was for me. We got cloudy skies in the forecast. Daytime highs today should be about 87 degrees. Let me get the radar imagery up on the screen so you can see what we're talking about here. You see Guam. Guam's kind of in the middle of all of that. You got all the clouds that are washing right over most of what looks like central and northern Guam today, and it looks like that's going to be a feature in the forecast for most of the day. Highs, like I said, 87 degrees. We got gusts as high as 25 miles an hour. Gusts as high as 28 miles an hour tonight, as the showers and possibly thunderstorm warning is going to be in effect through most of the day today, as well as tomorrow. Showers and possibly thunderstorms in the forecast for tomorrow, with it could be producing some heavy rainfall. Highs near 86 degrees and gusty 29 miles an hour tomorrow during the day, and 25 miles an hour in the evening tomorrow night. By Thursday, hopefully we'll be past all of this. There's a hopeful forecast for Thursday, calling for mostly sunny skies with highs around 86 degrees and isolated showers, partly cloudy on Thursday evening with overnight lows of about 76 degrees. So just hold your breath over a couple of days, and we should be out of this by Thursday. With the heat index today, we'll feel like 90 degrees. I got a 70% chance of rain. Rip currents, high surf advisories, coastal flood watches, all of them in the forecast today because of the additional rain and thunderstorms that could be in the area all day long. Sunrise this morning, not until 6:40, and sunset tonight's going to be at 6:28. Hashtag tell the others. There it is. News and weather together on 93.3 The Point. And just for completeness, the satellite imagery is on the screen as well, and you can see where Guam is in that, and you can see all of the clouds that are moving in. I guess that shear line has finally dropped down to our latitude. There it is. 6:13. News and weather together, brought to you by Bank Pacific, banking on the Pacific for, what do you say, Joe, over 70 years?
Get double the speed at zero extra cost with GTA Fiber. Experience super fast and reliable fiber internet speeds, now starting at 200 Mbps to 1 gig, with upload speeds just as fast as download speeds, 100 times faster than cable internet. You can enjoy lag-free gaming and clear video calls. Fast is also affordable. Sign up for Fiber 200 for only $70 a month. Visit gta.net or call 644-4482. Terms and conditions apply.
Kim Anderson from Security here, sharing an important tip about how you own your property. Do you know there are several ways to hold title? You can be a sole owner, hold title as community property with your spouse, as joint tenants with rights of survivorship as tenants in common, or even through a trust or LLC. Each option impacts inheritance, control, and how your property can be transferred in the future. Your family attorney can help determine what's best to avoid legal issues and protect your investment. And when you're ready to record, call the professionals at Secure Title. We are here to help.
Gotcha. 6:14. Regular show brought to you by AP American President Lines, a global presence with local home, and all my guys over my team, my healthcare team over at Take Care.
The Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call 88. That's 888-855.
on. I got a thing. Just noting the string mess. I mean, the only thing you can hear is on the radio today is actually on the radio. Welcome to the program. This is the mess. It is the Ray Gibson Show on 93.3 The Point. My name is Ray. Thrilled to usually be here with you on, what is it, Tuesday? Only Tuesday?
Yeah, brother.
Got it. Work through
Don't
a couple
cross the streams.
No, try not to. I'll work on all of that. I'm just to the last part of the stapling here. A bunch of stories. One of them out of Hawaii, and concerns being expressed by at least one member of a city council about the rail and the empty rails. I'm going to start the street second. Maybe I don't know. One want to do that. I don't know. Kind of figure. Well, but the thing is, okay, the thing if the child, I'm not able to do more everybody's side, and I'll start the service kind of want to. So it might be one of those things where I might just go ahead and start with that, and then restart everything, and come back with a new stream. All right. So I'm going to decide all that. Lots and lots in my head. Let me get through this part here before I get anything else. One of the programs is the Ray Gibson Show, 93.3 The Point. Real Joe, 888-8255, 888-TALK is the telephone number around here, and he's going to pick it up when you call at that telephone number, 797-8255. Mean Machine is online here this morning. I don't know why everything else is offline, but the Mean Machine is online, and you can reach out to me again at 797-8255. Funny pictures, things like you got interesting commentary that might have. By all means, go and sit in charge here. I'm going to take care of news here this morning. I'm not with news, but there are some things around here that I'm looking at and I'm going, okay, that kind of makes me crazy, including the story that Charlie read a few minutes ago about how it is that the government of Guam continues to be overcharging the people of Guam. The CRER is out, and we continue to be making in excess of revenue, unexpected new revenue numbers. And I'm going, take it down to 4% today.
And that's one of the reasons why I put it on as the first part of the news. 4%. To kind of spark the conversation.
4% today. We're not losing money here, guys. They went from 4%, 5% down to 4.5%. So we'll get to it when in the new fiscal year. And I'm going, why wait? Why wait? We've taken a big bite out of the business privilege tax, and the sky has not fallen, guys. So what's the deal? We'll talk about that and more. But it's 6:18. We're going to start this early. We got to say good morning to all of these overpayers here.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name. You want to go where people know people are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name.
Right on, right on. Oh, boy, just crazy stuff with the streams in the internet. Did we bomb some? Did we finally go in and start pulverizing Iran here? I got wonky internet here this morning. But let me start off with Ron Castro at number 1 here this morning. This is not the inflated numbers. He was actually there in the beginning of the program. One of my favorite educators out there, Loren Michelle, saying good morning to everybody. Hey, interesting beach pictures this weekend. You went to the beach. You didn't bother taking a bikini with you? What's going on? Lori with a wide duenas, Keenan McCausland, saying rain, go away. Well, you've got it up in Washington. We've got some down here as well. Looks like we're all strong because of Eric Chong, Gerald Young hanging out in the machine. Hey, there's Stephen Blake.
Real guy.
It's true.
Hey, morning, guy.
Good to have you online. EOD Kaboom asking ahoy.
Hot wives ahoy.
There it is. And then there's me saying, hey, Tony and Annette and Pinko, Anna, Real Joe, I don't think we've seen the last of Vice Speaker and Pika's best funeral home director, Tony Ada. And some say that he's got aspirations here to maybe, I don't know, run for political office. We'll see. Morning, good to see you online. Elizabeth Bendiola is online. Our favorite balloons. One of our favorite balloon smugglers is Army Lynn. She's online here this morning. If you don't understand the concept of balloon smuggling, Do you even listen to the show? Are you? What are you doing
Big
here?
flex.
There
Big
are
flex, Army.
there are other balloon smugglers, to be sure. There always are, but here's the thing. I don't know their husbands well enough to refer to their wives as balloon smugglers. So we'll just keep it cool like that. Let me see. Ismael Velez, Mexican president, escapes to a Mexican Navy warship in order to stay safe from the violence that has spread across the country from the killing of the cartel leader what's his name? Meche?
Mencho or Mancho?
Okay,
Macho Picho.
So here's the thing. Between Joe and I, we barely make one full-blooded chamorro. But I've got it.
True.
I do have another Hispanic in the studio. What's the guy's? What's the guy's? His name is El Menche. What does that translate to?
No, I think it's stain. I think it translates to stain.
No,
mancha is stain.
Mancha. Okay, so
mancha is a stain. So mention must just be
like a stained shirt, like
the skid mark. Yeah, right. He's a skid mark.
I'm just
leave a mark.
I guess I'm just asking. I said warship, and no, it didn't transport bananas. Says Ismail. Jane Nout is in the machine. There's Smug Wimp saying good morning to everybody. Smug, it's a quick technology question. So I've been telling you. I told you I was. I plugged in a computer that I haven't plugged in literally in years, and I'm trying to figure out when the last time I might have used it was. My only clues are it's a Windows 7 operating system. Ouch. And one of the pieces of software on the computer, and I'm glad it's there, is Picasa. Does anybody remember Picasso? That's what we used to use. That was the gallery. That was the gallery. You'd take pictures and you put the SD card in the machine. You upload it to Picasso, and then Picasso would spread it out to the world. And so I'm trying to remember, and I guess it'll come down to what was the most recent of the pictures in the Picasso. But Smug might be able to help me out with a. You might be able to remind me when Windows 7 was, and can I jump and go from Windows 7 to Windows 11? And if I can, do you have the software? Where can you find a Windows 11 thing?
And you know what? And there was actually an issue when they went from transition. There was a huge transition, I think, between either 9 or 10, which threw the whole system off, and they had to revert back to. So in the in the double-digit ones, I think something happened.
It might be the smart move to just stay with Windows 7 on the machine.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Ken Augustin is on the line. There's Mark Mendiola. Ava Matko, it's good to see you in the thing. Elizabeth Mendiola Kitsachu says drive safely. JB St. Nicolas. Charita Renee Titan, Will Height. All of the names. Are you running for office? Usually,
I hope so.
All of those names if you're running for political office. Anyway, Charita Wilhite's online says, "Good morning, Guam. Hey, No, it's not just hey, Charlie. Not just hey, Charlie. It's hey with multiple Y's.
Ooh, you know what that means.
Who's Charita? Who's you got a fan there, bro. Lulu Nine is online. Stephen Stettenben saying good morning to Guam. Alicia Duenas Anderson. Ken Augustin says, yep, light showers here in the MTM. Ana Delgado says, buffering? Yeah, it looks like that feed is over. And I think I should have another feed on the way. Ali Malakis is there. Elizabeth Mendiola Kitchu says, good morning, Vice Speaker Tony Adams, and have a great day. So that's all I got for you on the Facebook side. YouTube side, from prior to the feed dumping, I got Stephen Klein in the machine. Another Ron Castru saying, have a day pointers, MP Ogo, adult supervision. Makaka 671, Joe Takai saying, good morning to Woostig neighbors. And G4S, Piga's best security company, John Savaras. Good to see you there. Tattoo Sean Gumatau, EOD Kaboom on this side as well. Let me see. Tommy Garcia, JW is there. Says, point peeps. Hoit! 2 Tarzan Tangan Tuna Tarantula Tacos Tuesday and Girl Marks. I don't know about the grill marks today, but we can always memories of grill marks.
Mad bars, bro.
Go to your gallery and find pictures of grill marks. Booty Dog tomorrow was sad, my fellow property tax rebels. Time to get rid of the property tax on Guam. Going on 60 days. Gov Guam has gone without property tax collectors. And Lupang Guam says gold and silver up. I'll take a look at that. Gold and silver up, but do you see the markets this morning? The Dow off by like 1,000 points or something ridiculous. I'll go and get the numbers. And show them to you, but is that the tariff thing? Because it's Monday back in states. So are we spending the entire day wondering about the issues with the tariffs that came up over the weekend, that Supreme Court ruling. They're also breaking news. Wow, longevity guru Peter Attia quits CBS after email fallout. This is interesting to me. I read and quote Peter Attia all the time. Peter, I've read his longevity book twice. I bought it for my daughter. I got to get to the bottom of this. This is kind of interesting. So he's leaving CBS News as a result of, I don't know, with some kind of an email exchange. Sorry, just looking at the headline, that's catching my attention. Peter Attia is the guy that as I was rebuilding my health in 2025, he was the author that got me thinking not just about what can I do to preserve myself now, but how do I make it so that when I'm in my 70s, 80s, maybe 90s.
Oh yeah,
that's
still cha-cha.
Oh yeah. No, not just cha-cha, bro.
Spin around and
Freeze yourself.
There you go.
Yeah,
Cryogenics.
There's about, I think the number's something like 200, 300 people around the planet who have frozen themselves as so that when they come up with a cure for whatever they were suffering from, they might be able to get that revived. I don't know. Possible, right? It's Charlie's doing this. He's doing the Han Solo thing.
Yeah, the frozen
in carbonite. Yeah, I got you.
That's not how it goes.
6:27 in the morning. I'll check and see if I got some new names. And getting back to the contact ways for the program, as I said, 888-8255, 888-TALK. Interesting telephone number, and you're welcome to use that here all morning long. 797-8255. If you've got something in your phone that you come up with in the last 24 hours, I'm going to say that the most shared images in the last 24 hours have been the fire at Midpack. That was everywhere.
Yeah.
So I wake up from my nap.
Beer lovers
and
everywhere
people are, oh, yeah. They're going, this is my Heineken Light, my Heineken Silver. It's okay, guys. It's,
how many cases did they save?
They saved all the cases. It wasn't in the warehouse. It wasn't in the building. Yes. Apparently it was on the side, and there was, as many warehouses will. I mean, things come in on pallets. We store the pallets over there. Apparently something caught on fire, caught the pallets, caught tires, and there were old kegs and things like that, and that accounted for the boom noises.
Yeah,
as the gases, as the air inside expanded because of the heat, all of a sudden these things are going to pop open.
And kidding, not kidding, but how does the fire plan work? Like, so what do we say first? Right, I mean, you got Coors, Heineken, the different.
Right. Apparently, there was no danger of losing any actual beer and spirits in the building. But that
was the good news.
Could have gone sideways. Nobody was hurt. That's the other piece of good news here. But apparently, all of that black smoke. It was visible in pneumatic, right? I mean, because everybody's got pictures of their phone, and everybody's got things that look at the mushroom, the mushroom cloud, and the plumes of smoke that we got out there. And that was the second fire. I mean, if there's a theme that's moving around, that's it. Is yesterday was a rather fiery day, wasn't it? We had people trying to get through Camp Watkins, Hospital Road, etc. Were unable to do that because of this structure. They referred to it as a structure fire, and it wasn't a structure fire. It was you say structure like a warehouse or a building or something like that. It was somebody's house. And it might have been one of the last wood and tin structures in the entire Tamuning area. You pass by it every day. You probably never notice it. It's the house that's right there by just before you get to the Jimmy D's intersection. And I was going to say it's one of those strange parts in the roadway where it's two lanes coming in that direction, and then it goes down to one lane and it goes back to two lanes again.
Yes, sir.
It's that weird part of that road. Anyway, the house that you pass by.
It's the only one.
And it's gone now.
I have a little dog that runs out.
Yes, I know.
To bite my ankle. It's cute.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that they're able to get rebuilt. Apparently, there are a couple of people that live there, and we need to see to them and their needs. We got that. We got the other thing with the mid-pack fire and all of that stuff. So be very careful. Don't play with matches today. Maybe today's good. because it's raining. I don't know. I'm kind of riffing on the subject here. I don't know. I've got a stack of cardboard at the house, stuff that I got mailed, and beer cartons and pizza boxes and bags from Moses, etc. I got all this stuff, and I'm going, okay, I'm eventually going to burn it. But the problem is every time I think about burning it, is I've got someplace to go later, and I don't want to smell like the fire department. Speaking of fire department, Chief Joey St. Nicholas.
Working on that.
Yeah. Hanging out was hanging out with us last night. Told us spun tales and yarns about his early days as a firefighter, and it was absolutely good stories and well told. I thought that was pretty cool. Maybe we'll get some. He'll share some of that with us. Ali Malakas online, Elizabeth Mendiola Kitsutu, EOD Kaboom. I got Bill Fritton with a couple of tacos in the emojis in there, and just trying to keep the top spot. It says EOD Kaboom. I'll check on some of the other stuff a little bit later on. In the meantime, as I said, if you're looking for something to be ticked off about, the government of Guam has overcharged us yet again for the cost of being the government of Guam. There's a story in, is it in the newspaper today? I'm sorry. There's an old truism in the news business. If it bleeds, it leads. So the fires are the top story in today's Guam Daily Post, with actual pictures of fire and firefighters holding the hose and doing all of that stuff. And then the other story is about how the governor is pushing for a medical complex agenda with feds in the nation's capital. I'm wondering how that's going to be playing out there.
It's told on you, dude.
Yeah. What? Did she say my name?
They're giving us a hard time there.
Well, over my dead body? Did I stutter when I said that? No, page 4 of the Guam Daily Post report says government revenue continues to outpace projections. And it says here, so for the first 4 months of the current fiscal year, the government of Guam's general fund revenues are tracking $45.5 million, 12% higher than projected. Now, Les Carlson's going to come out there at some point and say, well, no, that's vapor. We got to wait until the audits. We got to, check out the AS400 or whatever, software or Excel.
It's not real money.
It's not real money. Yeah. No. You guys over at the legislature, don't try to spend that. Don't try to spend that. But anyway, but it's still fairly clear. The CRER found that for the cumulative first 4 month period of FY 2026, income tax collections for individuals, corporate, and withholding came in $34.2 million more than expected. The projected amount was $154.5. The actual collection was $185. Now, you can do the mathematics in your head if you want to. You know me, I'm too lazy. But 12.7% higher than expected. There needs to be, and somebody that's running for governor or one of you guys that's running for legislature needs to begin to put together, get with the big thinkers and sort out the Guam taxpayers' Bill of Rights. Anything over about 2.5% maybe should be put in a fund, and at some point, maybe calculated around my birthday in May, there needs to be a tax rebate. So when the government of Guam makes too much money, that money goes to the hands of the people that have overpaid their taxes.
Yeah, I mean, so, we rolled back 0.5. Imagine what one whole point would have looked like as far as collections, right?
So don't get me started on that because I still bristle at the idea that we settled for 0.5%. We should have gone all the way. And it was, we don't have the votes. We don't have the votes. Yes, we should. There should be ample votes from at the legislature to have taken it all the way. But so no. We'll take care of that in the new fiscal year. Why wait? Why wait? It obviously, and we're in the doldrums of the economy. We're watching businesses shut down left and right, including big ones in Tamuning, and the possibility that we're going to lose the contract over at the airport. These are not good times. We need to give that money back to the people and let them decide how they want to use that, where they want to spend that money, instead of going after pet projects of people over at the legislature and at Adelup. That's where my head's at in terms of that particular story. A bunch of other stories that are floating around here. You know what? I'm just so glad that we've got all of these protests going on and all these opportunities for demonstrations. I may switch sides. I might become one of those I hate America and you know, from the river to the sea and free Palestine. I might do that because I'm just saying. There's a picture. There's eye candy, babe. There's. I mean,
Charlie's pulling his knife out.
I'm just. Wait.
Take him out now, Charlie.
Okay, I won't really believe it, but is it possible that I can just show up at these things and hang out with the chicks?
Don't do that.
What? There's another picture of these people, you know, hey, respect me, proteo.
Well, no, you have to get vetted. I mean, isn't there like a process that you have to go through to make sure that you are a full-blown protester? Like, you know, raise your hands.
Okay, so I think I know what it is. I think what it is, the vetting process is if you're a boy, you have to go pee in the girl's bathroom. Oh. Yeah, I think that's the way it is. But once I think if I do that once,
you could pass.
Then I could pass, and then they'll say, okay, now you're one of us, and just you know, and so it would be fun to follow. No, it wouldn't. I'm sorry. You know where my head's going. It's a bad place. Anyway, 6:36 in the morning. The feeds have all been restarted, and it looks like they're stable. So I'm going to go and check on a couple of things while Charlie is taking care of news and headlines. It's 6:36, which might be the closest to 6:30 news that we've ever hit in the history of the Ray Gibson Show. Charlie, what's going on?
Monday was the first day that candidates for the 2026 Guam election could start turning in their nominating petitions. The candidate packet first became available at the Guam Election Commission on January 5th, and the deadline to submit petitions is Friday, May 1st. As of Friday, a total of 58 packets have been picked up, although there was a slowdown last week in the number of prospective candidate submissions with just 3. Meanwhile, a 40-year-old man was found guilty of molesting a 16-year-old girl. David Anthony Shire was found guilty of fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct as a third-degree felony at his trial in the Superior Court of Guam on Friday. In August 2024, Shire was charged with first-degree criminal sexual conduct as a first-degree felony. The charge he was convicted of after a 16-year-old girl alleged Schreier sexually assaulted her on August 4th, 2024, and sometime in June 2019. The Office of the Attorney General stated in a press release they will be requesting Schreier serve the maximum of 5 years in prison for the charge. An early morning fire structure fire near Jimmy D's Beach Resort in Tamuning left 2 people with no home and all of their belongings destroyed. The structure fire was on Governor Carlos G. Camacho Road and also known as Camp Watkins Road. Emergency officials reported no injuries. Guam Fire Department units responded at about 5 a.m. and found the structure fully engulfed, according to GFD spokesperson Lieutenant Nick Garrido. Guam Red Cross Community Disaster Program Manager Ed Lee said team would go by the home to make assessments and ensure they provide help. And those are your local headlines. Back to Ray.
Okay, just I'm checking around. The X stream is on.
Oh, nice.
The X stream. We are on the X, which used to be Twitter, and we're on it right
morning,
now.
Elon.
And let me just check and see if there's anybody else online.
Yeah.
No. Okay, so it's the new one. It's the new feed on X. If you want to watch, you can check us out there. I'm pretty sure we're on Facebook Live and Rumble.com. I'm not 1,000% sure that I'm on the YouTube side. I'll check that as well in a couple of minutes. And images coming in over the wet and soggy conditions through some parts of Guam. Smug got this picture, wet and rainy up at Anderson Air Force Base this morning.
What?
But don't worry about
Is that
it.
a Chick-fil-A?
Don't what?
No.
No,
Okay.
they don't have that. They have Popeyes.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think they have a Chick-fil-A up there.
That's a good eye, Joe. It actually, because it, with the sign on
that
top
is.
and the reflection, it actually does have a little.
It could be anything, man. We've never been on base.
Yeah. We were invited once and we didn't go because we're big shots. We're like, no. I said, well, I want to. Can you send somebody to the gate to pick us up? Do we have to go through that
was a
whole
trap,
pass and
bro.
the whole pass and review thing? No, I don't think so. Could you just send somebody out in your 36 Wing Commander limousine to pick us up from the front? And then anyway, it just didn't work out. It's 6:39 in the morning. As I said, lots and lots in the table of contents. Dying to find out what it is that you're thinking about. Use the phone 888-8255 or 797-8255 or just leave comments in whatever chat thing is working here this morning. I'll be right back.
Travel goals unlocked. Whether it's Korea in the summer or Japan in the fall, the United Credit Card from First Hawaiian Bank can help you turn your urge to explore into your next boarding pass. Apply by October 31st, 2025, and if approved, earn 45,000 bonus miles when you spend $2,000 within the first 3 months after account opening. Unlock your next adventure with the First Hawaiian Bank United Credit Card. It all starts with yes. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit one of our branches or go to fhb.com/United.
Boss 104, The Point, Star 101, and Lotte Hotel Guam present the 2026 Island Wedding Expo. Mark the date, Sunday, June 14th. Join us as we showcase an abundance of elegant choices for your special day. Table spaces are now available, but hurry, they're filling up. If you're a business that caters to all things weddings, from coordinators, florists, cakes, photographers, and more, call 888-7346 and connect with Doris, Shanzi, Daryl, or Michelle. For more information about the 2026 Island Wedding Expo, call 888-RDIO.
Calling out seniors 55 and older. Ganya Shopping Center is bringing you Silver Savings. You know, not everybody with a little gray in their beard is a silver fox. Unbeatable deals and discounts at places like the SM Island Store, Capri, Joe's, Cinnabon, Subway, Robbins, Planters, Pretzel Maker Studios, Miniso, Taco Bell, and Vitamin World, not to mention Ross Dress for Less at the Ganya Shopping Center. It's Silver Savings Tuesday. Traffic. Okay, there's the tab. All right, let me see if I can find some traffic for you. Put it up on the screen so that we are sharing the information between the two of us. All right, typical Tuesday morning, nothing major to report at 6:41. A little bit of traffic up around the Anderson Air Force Base main gate through there. 36 miles an hour when you're on the station here. Southbound Marine Corps drive-through, most of Dededo is looking good. I'm seriously don't see anything. Waisangsong is clear. Nothing major until you get to the intersection of 1 and 3, and there's hardly any traffic there. A little bit of traffic in front of the Micronesia Mall intersection on Marine Corps Drive. Otherwise, it's looking good. All the way down to 8, 10, and 16, the tri-intersection is running clear. You will go from Micronesia Mall through most of Upper Tumon, Harmon, and Tamuning area without a whole lot to slow you down. Just seeing a little bit of traffic, as usual, around the Guam International Airport and Donkey Village, as well as Kmark area. East of Ganya into downtown Aganya, and then all points south, looking sweet. No major traffic. In fact, not even at the entrance to Big Navy. That's running fairly clear right now as well. I think that's all the traffic you need here. 6:42. I'll be right back again.
Yo, Guam, it's going down at Ipoh Beach Park. The Hafaloa Concert Series 5 is back, and this time, J-Boog live on Island. March 6th, one night only. Big vibes, big energy, and all the island energy under the stars. If you've been waiting for a concert worthwhile, this is the one. Tickets available now at guamtime.net. Don't wait, these will sell out. J-Boog live at Ipoh Beach Park, March 6th. Hafaloha Part 5. Be there.
Nice to know ya. Let's do it again.
And welcome back to Nissan Guam Deal of the Year. Okay, we have 2 contestants left. Phil, Jasmine, are you ready? Let's go.
Phil, you get to decide which you want Nissan Guam to make. 3 months or 6 months of your car payments on your next new Nissan vehicle.
Both offers sound so good. Let's see. I'm going for the 6 months.
Great choice. And you too can get your own Deal of the Year. See Nissan Guam first today.
I got it. 6:43, Ray Gibson Show. It's Lent, FYI. Have you been behaving? Are you the best version of yourself now all of a sudden? Time to choose wisely. Wendy's Crispy Fish is back, made with quality pollock fish fillet, fried until it is the correct color of golden brown. Super satisfying. Go sandwich or go platter with rice and a fresh salad. The perfect Lenten meal here and only for a limited time and only at Wendy's.
Getting you back to the talk faster. It's the Ray Gibson Show.
Hi, hear that? 644, 888-8255, 888-TALK. Just throwing numbers at you. In a world full of Megan Rapinoe's, be a Jack Hughes. That's a meme. Thank you very much, Keith, for sending that in. He's a meme machine playboy out there, scouring the internet. And yeah, take a look at this guy, Jack Hughes. And what an incredible deal. I finally got around yesterday to being able to find the video of the score. And the meme machines on social media were on point and absolutely ruthless. One of the things that the internet took a great deal of delight in posting was images of Canadians in bars and at their house watching the last seconds of that game. You could feel the weight of on the crush on them as they were doing that, and then images of this guy Jack Hughes, who had apparently been checked a little bit earlier and took a stick in the mouth and broke his teeth.
There you go.
And now he's got the Duffy, but he's smiling wide. My guess is he probably still doesn't feel that. And I'm wondering how many dentists out there are saying, "I'll do that. I'll fix that for free. I'll take care of that little chip you got in a tooth there, Jack." Absolutely. Well, so it was Huffington Post came out with a thing and an article about, if you feel cringe when you hear the anthem, when they start singing the anthem, when they start saying God bless America and all of that stuff, to which there's a place, and I hope one day to go and dine there. I think it's called Jimmy's or something like that, and basically go F yourself to the Huffington Post. I'm sure you've seen that meme floating around as well. And it's just one of those things. There's a highlight. The United States did something wonderful at the now over Winter Olympics. Yeah, I think it's all done. And you got people that are I hate that. I say, that couldn't be less proud of the accomplishments of the United States of America. And you just go someplace. Yeah. Stop. Just don't live here anymore. If you don't like it, then you don't have to put it in, right? What's that Nettie C says?
Oh yeah.
If you don't like it, don't put it there.
Don't put it.
Unbelievable. Anyway, 6:47 in the morning. Yeah, lots of stuff going on. What's that? Notes here from the guys. My bro over at Nacion Chamorro likes the. I put up a visual. And it's I play with this every once in a while to try to class the show up, and so I put up a visual a little bit earlier of something that says the Ray Gibson Show is going to be starting soon. I mean, I got it from AI. It's just a whole bunch of put together videos. I stitched together a bunch of videos that I got from artificial intelligence, and yeah, I think it does look kind of cool. I'll put it up on the screen right now for you, and it's what looks like a newsroom. Just before the launch of a live broadcast, a live network newscast. And so I put this up. And it's got signs that says the Ray Gibson Show will begin soon. That's cool. And then there's a couple that just say the Ray Gibson Show will something.
See all those people running around?
Exactly. That's me. That's what it's like here. That's what it's like here in the early morning broadcast. So yeah, it kind of classes the show up a little bit using the artificial intelligence. And trust me, those might be the only artificial intelligence images that I might be able to put up on the screen. Mark Mendiola says, "Good morning, Ray. Charter Day coming up. We're bringing Blue Night Battle of the Bands back. They'll be in at 9 this morning, right? We got charter school, charter night
charter people coming in.
Charter school people coming in
Blue
about
Night.
9 o'clock in the morning, and they're bringing back Blue Night. But I'm, this it is with a great deal of pride that I say that I was selected apparently unanimously to be the MC for the 45th or 46th anniversary of what is it, the Songfest at Father Duenas. Yeah. So I'm happy about that, and I'm happy that people single me out as one of the survivors of the original Blue Nights for Charter Day at the University of Guam.
When it was real.
Back in the day. Yes, but I don't know if we're really going back to the original blue nights that we used to have. I'm just going to say that it has been some time. No more alcohol, no more smoking, and apparently no more nipples.
Yeah.
Just saying. 6:49. Is that Pika's best? It's Pika's best. Remind me. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can do this while the show is playing here. While we're talking, I'm gonna see if I can get a Pika's Best jingle for Mayor Jess Allig from the beautiful village of Petey, who joins me now on the program. Brenson Zanavade, Mayor Allig, how did your health?
It's about time, my friend.
What? I get distracted. There's always something shiny in front of me, and I tend to get distracted. Sorry to leave you on hold for so long. How did the health fair thing go last week?
Well, yeah, there's. They go around, and they're going around to all the villages. So I think the good thing about it is that, it's comprehensive. There's just, it's a good thing because all of their services come out, right, from public health. And not everybody knows what's going on, really, what public health could actually do. So I'm sure, there's, the crowd could always be better everywhere. And it's just something that, they just started in October. I mean, I don't know if you remember, I forgot which village they started, but I think this is just the third mobile clinic that they've done. But it is, like I said, comprehensive. Comprehensive in that all the services from public health come out. So, we just get the word out, get people to know that I don't know where they're going next. Mm-hmm. But like I said, it's not just the glucose testing and blood pressure testing, right? They got all these other things going on.
Well, they got to bring in the food stamp people too, right?
You know what? I don't think they're. Well, there's the program. They talk about the program because there's there's a work program that
it's not a work program. It's the new rule that I think is if it's not in effect now, it will be very, very soon. Where if you're going to continue to get food stamps, you have to be working. I mean, if you're an able-bodied individual, then you've got to be able to be working at least 20 hours a week or something like that, or be in a program, like some kind of educational program. And they've made some cuts, if you will, to the eligibility. You say, well, I got to take care of my kids. Well, if they're over a certain age, they can take care of themselves. You go to work.
Yeah. So all of that was out, and all the child care stuff. They have early childhood programs and also child development programs that are out there that people don't really know exist. And I think it was part of their program to do that with these mobile clinics. So.
Right.
Of course, like I said, you could always expect more people. You can have more people. And then, it's kind of in the middle of the day. Those people that are hardworking, well, let's just be nice. The people that are working who need the help can't get there because they're working. Mm-hmm. But the people who are not working or who perhaps are off that day are the only ones who are able to show up. So, it's just kind of like planning anything else. You just never know what's the best day to do it, and you just kind of keep on going.
Okay.
So I
unfortunately, I don't have an update on when they're going to give you the keys to the USO, but I did note let's
talk about that.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So now I'm having to get permission from the Navy. So now there's something going on. I'm not sure what it is.
I'm in Commonwealth now. Protegi USO.
Stop it. So, we can have our own activist group, right?
Right. But I'm only, it's me and you and hot chicks.
I'm having a festival in April, and I want to use the space.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, now I'm like, okay, how am I going to get there? So now I'm having to ask the Navy permission. Is that interesting or what?
I thought they already handed it back.
I know. So let's see. I'll keep you posted. I followed up again yesterday because I sent the request since January, hadn't received anything back, and I don't want to, those guys up there I thought were friends. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next couple of days. I'll let you know what they say. And I hope they don't say no to me because somebody else is using the property.
Well, didn't they just have one of those triathlons?
Yeah. So.
Wait a second. This calls into. Is this because we didn't capitulate with the deal they made with Lou on the soccer field for the hospital? Is it like did they take all of the properties back?
Well, that's why I'm saying it's very interesting how because my initial request was to the governor's office to use the space because it's not doesn't legally belong to the municipality of PD. And so it went from that to, now I have to ask, Navy. I'm thinking, why is it back to the Navy when wasn't it deeded already to the governor of Guam? So I'm like, oh boy, what a mess. So we'll see.
Interesting.
We'll see what they say, and I'll take it from there.
Yeah. Okay, so but I was just using that as a non sequitur to get into the conversation about your new gym. I guess the elect Josh governor campaign has decided that PD, et cetera, is going to be is going to get a new gymnasium.
Yeah. They announced that a few months ago already. But
this is a new press release came out on the 17th. Acting Governor Josh, Mayor Johnny Kanata, DPW, today conducted a site visit to begin preliminary work in the village of Umatic, which will be home to one of 5 brand new open-air gymnasiums. And then it goes on to talk about other LWCF funding for additional open-air gymnasiums. MTM. Hey, I'm going to get a gym. Me and Paco are going to get a gym.
Solid.
Asan Maina in Alahan and PD.
Yeah. No, that was announced, a couple months ago already. I'm not sure why it was re-announced. It'll probably be announced next month again. But I don't know. And, so you got Humatak's picture on the paper.
Right.
And that's great. So Biba Humatak.
This is okay. So where in the village is your new gymnasium going to go?
Well, it's planned to be where the current basketball court is at, and because property is limited.
Yeah.
But the request is to reconfigure the space so that it could include restrooms and a storage room, and then of course our flooding issue here.
Yeah.
So I don't mind a facility, and I welcome development, but I need to know how first. Make sure you don't flood me even more because we're already flooded. And while you do that, fix the flooding so that, you don't create a bigger problem for us at the end. I mean, who cares about a nice facility if the people are gonna flood?
Can't use it. Yeah, it's because it's going to be open air, so it's just going to be the foundation and then some covering.
Yeah, the other thing too is maintenance, and this is typical of, some people where they just build, keep on building, and there's no real fiscal responsibility because there's no foresight. So next year after this is built, who's going to maintain it? And how are you going to maintain it?
Right.
Is it built for us to properly maintain on Guam? Can someone on Guam maintain those facilities? And are the mayors, now, these are just, they're my colleagues, right? So are we figuring this into our budget? Because now we have all of these great facilities, and other villages have facilities before us. And we moved into this new fiscal year without considering that, okay, well, now I have a brand new gym, Biba, and ribbon cutting everywhere, all over the place. And now you want more. Everybody wants more. But are you sure now this fiscal year that every mayor's office has more money? Did you take that more money and apply it to maintenance of the grandeur in your village, right? So that's what's coming up. That's what I'll see.
That's it's an interesting concept, and much is being made about the veterans and their families being able to go and get a free education at the University of Guam. But my understanding is that legislation didn't come with any additional money for the University of Guam to be able to provide all of that free tuition.
And that's the thing too, right? Is that when you plan, gosh, that's just such a that's so irresponsible. That's such a childlike behavior. If you build a house, are you going to build a mansion and you could only afford X amount? No, you build what you can afford and what you can maintain.
Don't buy the air conditioner unless you can afford to pay for the power bill, number one, and number two, make sure that you can replace it when it breaks. 6:59 and change. Now, Pica's best mayor, and through the use of artificial intelligence, I'm hearing this for the first time, as you might be as well. That we've got I've asked artificial intelligence to make a couple of jingles for you, and this might go a little bit long, but I want to hear what it has to say about Pica's best mayor. Stand by. Do I have it? Do we have a thing, Joe? Is the audio
yeah,
up?
I've got it prodded up. Yeah.
But
it better be good.
Early morning, coffee steam, clipboard phone, big time. Jay-Z on the corner, sleeves rolled high.
We're gonna have to play it off the regular machine a little bit later on, and I got to shorten it up. But I asked for a jingle, and it gave me 3 minutes worth of a song for you. I might send it to you anyway. 7 o'clock in the morning. I'll talk to you pretty soon, Jess. Estamigo, stand by now. Fox News on the point.
Today is back. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The men's hockey team arriving from Italy after winning the first Olympic gold for the men's team since 1980.
It's for us, but the best part is for, like I was saying this, the day of the gold medal. It's for all the guys that have come before us, and all the young kids are going to come after us.
Forward Jack Hughes lost teeth in the win over Canada, but still scored the game-winning goal, just telling reporters.
In hockey, if you lose your teeth, it's not even a question of, coming back and playing. That's automatic stuff.
Both the men's and women's team winning hockey gold in Milan. The men's team landing in Miami after a change in travel plans because of the Northeast blizzard. That storm dumping historic amounts of snow in some areas. Emergencies declared from Delaware to Massachusetts.
Providence, Rhode Island, they have topped the infamous blizzard of 1978, 32.8 inches and counting. New York City, their 9th biggest storm on record, and out here on the eastern end of Long Island, we've had 2 to 2.5 feet of snow, combined with winds up to hurricane force.
Fox Weather's Mike Seidel, more than 600,000 power outages in multiple states and ripple effects at airports around the country, with more than 20,000 flights disrupted through tomorrow. But Congress is still back in session today after a February break, and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is slamming President Trump on tariffs, saying Americans are suffering.
People pay more for so many daily goods, so many groceries, for cars, for homes, for everything.
The president defending his economic agenda and announcing a 15% global tariff after the Supreme Court struck down his emergency tariffs, also warning trading partners not to back away from trade deals. Uncertainty rattling the markets. The Dow down 821 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Start your day with KFC's $5 breakfast deals. Choose the AM loaded platter, AM chicken rice bowl, or AM sausage, biscuit, and gravy. And now, enjoy a cup of premium Lavazza coffee from Italy with every meal. Head to your favorite KFC for our $5 breakfast deals and enjoy a taste of Italy with every sip. Breakfast is served from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. daily. KFC. Finger-licking good mornings just got better.
Boss 104, The Point, Star 101, and Lotte Hotel Guam present the 2026 Island Wedding Expo. Mark the date, Sunday, June 14th. Join us as we showcase an abundance of elegant choices for your special day. Table spaces are now available, but hurry, they're filling up. If you're a business that caters to all things weddings, from coordinators, florists, cakes, photographers, and more, call 888-7346 and connect with Doris, Shanzi, Daryl, or Michelle. For more information about the 2026 Island Wedding Expo, call 888-RDIO.
A plea entered for Nick Reiner, the son of director Rob Reiner, arraigned today on first-degree murder charges in the December killing of both of his parents, stabbed to death in their California home.
Shortly after attending a holiday party at the home of Conan O'Brien, where Rob Reiner had reportedly argued loudly with his son, who had apparently been behaving oddly and making other guests at the party uncomfortable. Nick Reiner has a long history of mental illness and drug abuse, and doctors had reportedly been been experimenting with different medications for him before he allegedly killed his parents.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt in L.A., where prosecutors have not made a decision yet on seeking the death penalty if Reiner is convicted. The trial begins in Utah for a woman accused of killing her husband with poison.
Prosecutors in Park City, Utah begin laying out their case that Corey Richards poisoned her husband and father of her children, Eric, with a lethal dose of fentanyl in 2022. She later self-published a children's book on grieving following his death. She's pled not guilty. The trial set to last up to 5 weeks. Her lawyers say Richards has waited nearly 3 years for the facts of this case to be heard by a jury, free from the prosecution's narrative that's dominated headlines since her arrest. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
The U.S. military confirming another deadly strike on a suspected drug boat.
U.S. Southern Command says 3 men were killed in a lethal kinetic strike on a vessel today operated by a designated terrorist organization. The Pentagon says intelligence confirmed the vessel was transiting along a known narco-trafficking route in the Caribbean. No U.S. forces were harmed.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. More than 130 people killed since those strikes began last August. Recapping the sell-off on Wall Street, the Dow down 821, back under 49K. The S&P and the NASDAQ also dropping more than 1%. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Sit-down breakfast? Wendy's. Grab-and-go breakfast? Wendy's. Big variety? Wendy's. Best value on island? Yeah, you guessed it. Wendy's. From hearty local breakfast platters to breakfast sandwiches and burritos to the morning melt panini made for mornings on the move. Wendy's breakfast has something for every kind of morning. Whether you've got the time to sit or you're heading out the door, Wendy's delivers big flavor and unbeatable value. However you start your day, start it with Wendy's.
To decide which you want Nissan Guam to make 3 months or 6 months of your car payments on your next new Nissan vehicle.
Both offers sound so good. Let's see. I'm going for the 6 months.
Great choice! And you too can get your own deal of the year. See Nissan Guam first today.
Burger King's double cheeseburger line is here. The classic double, bacon double, and rodeo double. The classic features 2 flame-grilled beef topped with pickles, ketchup, mustard, and melty American cheese on a warm sesame seed bun. The bacon with pickles, ketchup, mustard, melty American cheese, and crispy savory bacon. And the rodeo filled with the melty American cheese, tangy barbecue sauce, and onion rings, making a meal with cheesy tots and a refreshing Coca-Cola. BK's new double cheeseburgers. Available for a limited time only at BK. You rule.
News this hour is brought to you by AB Risk Solutions.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. It's 7:07. I'm Charlie Hermosa with a look at your local news on the point. A fire at the Mid-Pacific Distributors Inc. Dededo warehouse resulted in smoke filling up the sky and the community hearing loud noises believed to be kegs heating up and popping. At around 2 p.m. on Monday, smoke could be seen in the sky from different parts of the island, and loud popping noises could be heard periodically, which led the Guam Fire Department to confirm the source was a fire at the Mid-Pac warehouse. At the time, GFD spokesperson Nick Arita confirmed with local media that units were preparing to begin putting out the fire. The Guam Daily Post arrived at the scene and learned from Mid-Pac Operations Logistics Manager Ryan Westling that the fire started at around 1:15 p.m. They were assuming the heat in the area were the culprit of the start of the fire. All rubbish before that was laid on the ground usually gets picked up later in the afternoon. It looks like the heat was the natural cause of the fire, said Westling, who added that the area has old beer kegs and broken down wooden pallets ready to be disposed of. No injuries were reported, according to GFD. Meanwhile, with roughly 10 months left in office, Governor Lou Leon Guerrero urged federal leaders during the 2026 IGIA plenary session in Washington, D.C., to direct federal investments into Guam's public health care infrastructure, specifically the construction of the new medical complex. Leon Guerrero made the remarks following a high-level briefing at the Department of Defense with Undersecretary of Defense Hung Kao. Kao and the governor reviewed current plans and timelines in support of a unified approach to the construction of a new medical complex. A release from Adaloop said on Sunday. More news after this.
Whoever said no risk, no reward has never been sued. Hi, I'm Dave Silva from AB Risk Solutions, and our job for over 70 years has been to help businesses just like yours manage risk. Manage risk? We will never be able to totally eliminate the myriad of risks every business faces, but we can help you manage them and recover when disaster strikes. From mom and pop operations to high-rise hotels, we're the experts businesses have counted on for many years. Call me today at 777-2668 for a free risk review and consultation.
AB Risk Solutions, formerly known as Aon.
The federal officials slated to meet with Guam's acting governor this week on deep-sea mining plans won't be arriving Wednesday as first reported. The governor's office confirmed on Monday. They will be coming on Thursday instead. John Ryan, communications director at the office of the governor, told the Guam Daily Post that Bureau of Ocean Energy Management and Department of Interior representatives will pay a courtesy visit to acting Governor Josh Tenorio on February 26, now shifted from the original February 25th date. According to sources familiar with the agenda, federal officials plan to walk Guam leaders through the agency's review process and take questions on agency concerns and priorities. Among the local divisions expected to be asked to participate is the Department of Agriculture. Meanwhile, the ban on the importation of live poultry from the United States was fully lifted by acting Governor Joshua Tenorio effective Saturday. The directive follows a legal and policy review confirming that Guam law and current regulations already provide safeguards to protect the public health and agriculture without imposing a complete prohibition, according to a news release from Adaloop. And that was your top stories. Now back to Ray.
Okay. No, I'm reading. It's Tuesdays, and what do we know about Tuesdays?
Yeah, it's Tuesday. Hawaii, brother.
Hawaii Free Press, brother. They're coming out with stories, and a couple of interesting stories here about Augie T, who I did not realize is on some kind of Pacific Planning Council. I knew Augie
that's
T.
one comedian.
Yeah, he used to come out to Guam and do comedy shows for Secretary's Day and stuff back in the day, and then he's got this big radio show that he does on one of these island music stations there. But apparently he's got himself on a council, and he's on the council of the railway that they've got there, and so 3 planned extensions, including from the Civic Center to the Ala Moana, East Kapolei to West Kapolei segment, and Ala Moana to UH Manoa and Waikiki segment. Before the council's 8-1 vote, Augie Tulba questioned the HART executive director, Lori Kahikina, on whether Bill 60 authorized funds for planning and engineering costs, and is there an estimated cost, he asked, and they said they would just use funds to go to the University of Hawaii or further into Kapolei. Currently, there are no additional funds to go there. If we do obtain additional funds, we need the authorization first before we can even spend funds to go beyond. Grand plans of interconnecting with the historic rail, the empty rail, as some people are referring to it as, and we've got our own transit-oriented development future plans that they want to discuss there. But Augie Tulba voting no on this because there was no money behind it. And I'm going, we need that guy here.
Should we paint his roof blue, Ray?
Yes.
Just to protect him?
Protect him from the next round of, concentrated fire from the big direct energy beam satellites. A couple of other interesting stories about if you go to Hawaii and you're feeling romantic, amorous, if you're Andying for somebody, a note here. Apparently, sexually transmitted infections are more common in Hawaii than the flu. Brada. So wrap that rascal, if you know what I mean. It's 7:12. Yes, I'm sorry, it hurts when I. But anyway, I'll read that story to you a little bit later on. 7:12, and what I was trying to get in the conversation with the rather salty Pika's best mayor Jess Allig this morning. They're touting over at the at acting governor's office. Hey, we got these new gymnasiums that are going to get built up, and there's going to be one in Petey, and Pika's best mayor of Petey says, well, that's just great. Are you giving me money to maintain it as well, or is that going to have to come out of my budget for the deal? What's that, Jared?
First of all, this guy, Augie, somebody in Hawaii.
Augie told me. You remember Augie?
Yeah.
Been here a bunch of times.
He wants maintenance.
Jess wants maintenance?
Yeah, they want money.
What's wrong with these people?
So Augie's
just build it. Never mind maintaining it. That's the way we do it.
Yeah, and that's how we end up with things like bulldozing the old administration building because we couldn't maintain that, and any number of schools and other government properties.
We cannot have elected public servants who want these things.
No, we have to just go for the ribbon cutting and the groundbreaking.
That's all
we need to do. 7:13. Jerry Roberts. Likewise, salty Jerry Roberts is in the studio as well. Extra point here.
I was up all night making badges. Get off my case.
No, really.
Well, not exactly all night,
but close enough. Why not? I got you. 7:14 in the morning. Jerry and I are both. I don't want to say that there's regret, but we have lived long enough to see one of our major issues back in the days of radio broadcasting has been solved. There was a once upon a time if you wanted to make a parody song or a jingle about something, it'd cost you thousands of dollars and all kinds of time and planning if you could get the money out of the bean counters.
If back in the day when I was doing it, it didn't matter if you had the money or not. You couldn't do it.
It was hard.
You had to go get a group, some kind of band to do it for you because there was nothing else.
So we now have a thing called Suno. I think I'm saying it right. And so while Jess Allig was talking, I asked Suno to put together. I asked it for a jingle, but Suno gave me a song. I'm not going to play the song, but I did go back and say, just give me a 10 or 15 second jingle for Pika's Best Mayor, and this is what it came up with.
Best mayor, hey, hey. Mayor Jesse, Pika's best mayor.
Yeah, right?
Coffee in his hand.
We may at some point do away with Real Joe just streaming Uncle Si.
No, what do we need the mayor for anymore?
We got the
jingle.
We have a jingle for the mayor. Anyway, but the other thing is, and we were talking about this at lunch the other day, how we missed the boat on Bitcoin. For a variety of reasons. And for me, I take comfort, I take solace in the fact that I could never afford Bitcoin, even when it was so-called cheap. But here we are in 2026 and looking at Bitcoin numbers at 715. Real Joe, what's the current Bitcoin number?
64,184.
64,184. The last time Bitcoin was this low. And relative terms, right? Low was in 2021, November of 2021. It was $64,402, and you might be going, okay, where was the dip prior to that? And for that, you got to go back to the November again of 2022 when it was 16,000. Do you remember those days? Does it sound like it's moving back into a realm of affordability here at $64,000? And in 2021, $62,922 for those of you that want to keep track of all of the data. And it is downward trending right now.
Yes,
it is downward trending. So if you missed the boat back in 2019, 2018,
2011,
when you could buy it out of vending machines for $20, we might be going back into that realm before too much longer. Look for a bottom. But the problem is if you're going to buy it, what you think is the bottom, and it's going to go back down to $300 a Bitcoin. And yeah, it can go to zero. 7:17 in the morning. Some of the other numbers that we look at, I'm supposed to do a thing, right? I got to do the APL thing. We haven't really started.
Didn't get the spot.
I didn't even do the weather yet, did I?
Yeah, no.
Oh. Sorry, just so excited, man. Carried away with the excitement of the broadcast here. All right, showers likely, possibly thunderstorms, cloudy conditions, and highs near 87 degrees, east-northeast winds. And we might see gusts as high as 25 miles an hour today, 28 miles an hour tonight. Showers and possibly thunderstorms in the forecast for tomorrow as well. And we might be out of this by Thursday, where they are predicting mostly sunny skies again and daytime highs of about 86 degrees. What's that, Joe? You okay? What have I got here? The rest of this looks like heat index 90 degrees, 70% chance of rain, and rip currents, high surf advisories, and the possibility of some coastal flooding here today. Sunrise was at 6:40. I think I got some pictures from Jeff over at Pirates Cove. Bam, there it is. Color good on the screen, and we're projecting sunset tonight at about 6:28 or so. There it is. News and weather and Bitcoin together here on 93.3. This is The Point.
Who knew buying gas could help with your grocery bills? At 76 Circle K, when you fuel more, you can win groceries. Every 7 gallons of fuel earns you an automatic entry to win up to $3,500 in groceries every week at Payless. Fuel up and you're in. For My Rewards members, entries are tracked automatically. Not a member yet? Join My Rewards free. Fuel more, win groceries. Only at 76 Circle K Guam. No purchase necessary. Ends April 12th. See rules for details.
For all your real estate needs, call the professionals at Hoffaday Realty. Jody, Saran, Libby, and Lolita, and they'll take care of you on every step of the real estate process. No worries. Just contact Hoffaday Realty at 588-4232 or 588-HOFFA or email them at hoffadayrealty@gmail.com. They're at 426 Challenge San Antonio, Suite 204 in Tamuning. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4. Hoffaday Realty for all your real estate needs.
719 Ray Gibson Show portion is brought to you by APL American President Lines, a global presence with a local home. And my friends over at Subway asking you to eat fit and eat fresh sandwiches that are loaded with protein, loaded with flavor, but not loaded with calories. How do they do that? Well, we will not teach the children of the new about the old ways that they've concocted over at Subway. You just got to go and check it out for yourself. All your favorite sandwiches have been modified now so that they are even better for you. Check it out today. There's a Subway near you. And get fit and get fresh with Subway.
It's the Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Multiple grooviness on the Facebook side and the YouTube side. We'll check in with them in just a second. Are you Kaduku671 asking, hey, what's up with the chat? Well, we had to restart the chat. There was some kind of a internet thing just as we started the program. We lost all of the feeds. That almost never happened. So I'm kind of curious as to what the nature of that was. I'll have to look at that a little bit later on. Or not, but anyway, everything got restarted, so we're back in the mix here. I got Leo Garcia saying good morning to everybody on that side. Bad Boy 671 Barbecue. Stephen Klein is online. Are you Kaduku 671 asking what's the Chamorro phrase or word for periodic maintenance? Anybody? It's
if anything,
lost to history. Lost it. We had it, and then the Spaniards took it away. That's what happened. We'll blame it on Magellan. Everything used to be properly maintained around here. Magellan comes along and got mad at us because we stole nails and everything and burned down the huts, and they abolished the language for periodic maintenance.
David Evans can do this for you.
David Evans can write me the song.
Blame it on Magellan. You can
right. Guam Under the Sea says, I was on the pre-show link. Sorry about that. Like I said, it was beyond my control. But we're back up in all of the streams, and just in time for Jerry Roberts to do the extra point. Yesterday, I was recovering from my nap and had a message from Jerry Roberts says, got to pull the ads, the Live to Lead ads. Go ahead and take them off the air. We're sold out. And I'm like, yeah, done it. Sold out.
Yes, sir.
But you managed, though, to...
Well, let me tell you, Dusitani is just an unbelievable hotel.
I heard.
I said to them, we're sold out, but I would like to have about 20 more seats, if possible. You know what they did?
Mm-hmm.
They sent the construction crew in. They moved the walls of the hotel out for me last night.
Widen the thing.
They widened the hotel just for me last night, and they said, Jerry, you got 20 more seats. Unbelievable hotel.
So, in fact, we were done with the extra point yesterday and talking about the Live to Lead, and one of our viewers, Neats, said, "Send me that link." And I'm worried now that she might not have been able to get through the website and make the reservations.
Live, Live, the number 2, Lead, Lead, Guam.com. 20 more seats.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make one more run at badges. For the final badges tonight. So I got about 6-7 companies that have been saying, yeah, I think we're going to come. We're going to come. If you want to come Today. I need your names today, not tonight.
Yeah,
Today. So we can run the badges so we don't have blank badges for your people on Thursday. We're within 48 hours. Please, if you want to be at Live to Lead, and why would you not, please get your registration form in with names on it, and I will stay up all night if I need to and make the badges.
You know, I was looking at the fee that you were charging and considering the expertise, the possibility of untold, incalculable numbers of ideas that are going to be presented to these guys. That's a small investment to make.
I think so. And by the way, if you come on Thursday to Live to Lead, Ray Gibson is going to be there. How do I know? I made a badge
Got
for
a
Ray
badge
Gibson
for me.
last night.
See, now I have to show up.
Now he has to show up. He'll be there signing autographs. He'll be doing T-shirts.
But I won't be making any presentations. You already got some big names in there. You got the guy from GRMC, Frank the Crank. We got Jessica Barrett. Yeah.
But if anybody drops out, I'll tap you right away.
Yeah, you know, it's, John Anderson once taught me years ago. He says, always be ready for at least a 10-minute presentation on something. And I remember we didn't have a speaker at Rotary, and he got up and told the story of the Star-Spangled Banner off the top of his head, and came back to the table. I said, how did you do that? He says, you should always have something that you can talk about for 10 or 15 minutes. I might be able to come up with something on my own. So anyway, 7:24 in Ray Gibson Show. And I'm going to milk this for as long as I can because Jerry Roberts, like Mary Poppins, when the wind turns, he's going to be leaving. But it's a pleasure to bring you another Jerry Roberts. Oh, and today, by the way, 2 times Jerry Roberts.
Oh, they printed me again.
They printed you again, Jerry Roberts.
Thank you so much, KUAM Daily Post.
With his work zone, converting setbacks into learning opportunities, why you must remove fear from failure. And that's going to be worth reading as soon as he's done with this morning's Extra Point, brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank. Chair.
Thank you, Ray. Bamboo HR, a company that serves the human resources field, has research that shows that 44% of new hires regret accepting a job very early in their employment. So, what has to take place after the onboarding process to help improve those numbers? Well, I got the answer coming next on the Extra Point.
Travel goals unlocked. Whether it's Korea in the summer or Japan in the fall, the United Credit Card from First Hawaiian Bank can help you turn your urge to explore into your next boarding pass. Apply by October 31st, 2025, and if approved, earn 45,000 bonus miles when you spend $2,000 within the first 3 months after account opening. Unlock your next adventure with the First Hawaiian Bank United Credit Card. It all starts with yes. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit one of our branches or go to fhb.com/United.
The first week of employment is crucial for new hires, and this is not just in big companies. It is doubly crucial if you're a small organization. But the onboarding journey doesn't end there. The transition from orientation to ongoing integration into the team is a critical phase that sets the tone for the employee's experience and long-term success. This is where a direct supervisor plays a vital role in building a relationship that will lead to a successful hire and a satisfied worker. Traditional onboarding processes often include company orientation sessions, training on policies, and introductions to team members. And while these elements are essential to help the worker become familiar with the organization and to get going, they primarily serve as a foundation for what comes next. After the first week, the focus should shift to creating connections and building rapport. This is where the direct supervisor's involvement becomes absolutely critical. A supervisor should take the initiative to engage with new employees regularly. This can include one-on-one meetings to discuss the employee's experiences, concerns, and expectations. You don't just cut them loose after HR's done with them and toss them into the fray. By actively seeking feedback, supervisors can demonstrate that they value the employee's input and their well-being. This engagement also allows supervisors to gauge how well the new hire is adapting and to identify any areas where additional support may be needed. Too many times, the onboarding ends and the engagement ends with it. The new worker is tossed into their daily routine. The supervisor goes about his or her normal duties. And the worker, well, they are left to fend for themselves. Beyond relationship building, supervisors must take time to set clear expectations regarding job roles and responsibilities. This gives the new hire a sense of direction and purpose. It also reduces feelings of overwhelm and creating a more satisfying work experience. What it also does is provide a needed connection for the worker and extension of the onboarding that should continue for weeks. I said weeks with an S, to come as you slowly integrate the worker into their new working home. A critical aspect of this traditional or transitional phase is ongoing training, mentorship opportunities, and the supervisor's guiding hand to lead them through those early days and weeks. You need open communication where new employees feel comfortable voicing questions and concerns, regular check-ins, recognition of accomplishments, and constructive feedback all contribute to that employee satisfaction. By encouraging dialogue, supervisors can help create a culture of trust, and you need it, making employees feel valued and supported, and not thinking that they've been abandoned. Onboarding should not be a one-week wham-bam experience and have a nice career. The period after the first week of employment is pivotal for reinforcing the foundations laid during onboarding. Finally, with the supervisor's direct involvement in building relationships, setting clear expectations, and providing ongoing support, organizations can make new hires more successful. That gives you a better chance to keep good talent longer, and that is the name of the game. That's the extra point. Make something good happen today and get out there. Do it to it for 93.3 FM, The Ray Gibson Show, and for First Hawaiian Bank. I'm Jerry Roberts.
On the subject of onboarding, obviously companies don't just hire the same employee, and there's different job categories in every company. So that needs to be customized for the receptionist, or the maintenance guy, or the salesperson, or, the technician, right?
But the overall thing is don't cut off the hand-holding right away. When HR is done with them, they give them to the supervisor, and the supervisor's got a load of things that he or she has to do. Yeah. And they don't pay attention to that worker. For a while, maybe a few days to watch them a little bit, and then it's over. In most cases, especially in small companies who don't have an HR's team to do the formal onboarding process. The mom and pops, the small companies, 25 people, 50 people or less, you really don't have that foundation laid in to do those things. They really need to do it. The supervisor has to step up and take that role. Otherwise, the worker's kind of looking around. Okay, did the few days.
I did the thing.
Now what do I?
Is there another thing?
And they're kind of left bobbing in the ocean all alone.
Interesting. The kind of stuff you're going to learn at Live to Lead on Thursday, and sign up today. What's the website again, Jerry?
Live, the number 2, leadguam.com.
All right, 7:31 in the morning. Got news coming up in a second, but I did want to get through some of the numbers here today, because some of you, let me just, don't look at your 401 today. If you get the hankering, maybe an email from whoever it is that you've given your money to invest for your retirement or kids' college, don't open the email today, because it's going to be bad news. S&P 500 down by 71 points. NASDAQ is off by 258, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the big loser for the day, is off by 821 points. The first time I've seen it at around 48,000 in a little bit. I mean, it was just a couple of weeks ago. The thing tanked over at 50,000, but she's down now. This is going to be, and I don't even know. I don't know the cause of it. I'm going to assume that has something to do with tariffs and concerns about that. But frankly, you need to, whoever you gave your money to, call them up today and say, look and find me some bargains, because off by 821, no doubt there's going to be plenty of available opportunities out there. FTSE is off by 2 points. I got the Nikkei unchanged at around 56,000. Hang Seng is up by 668. Shanghai Index down by 51. And I've got the DAX off by 268. So Dow was the big loser here today, and there was some green, though. Procter & Gamble up by a couple of percent. Walmart, McDonald's, Johnson & Johnson Allison, and Merck and Company round out the top 5. Down around the bottom, and the biggest loser is believe it or not, IBM. Now, looking at some of the commodities, what have I got here? Natural oil. West Texas crude at $66.38 for a barrel of that. So it looks like we're stuck in the 60s here. Gold. Are you ready for this? Gold, $5,250 for an ounce of gold. It's up by almost $170 here today. And good news if you're a silver stacker out there, we've got silver trading at $88.37. So up by $6 on that. So it looks like the precious metals come roaring back. Where am I at with the rest of this? You're going to Japan, 154 yen to the dollar. If you can afford the plane ticket over. Those are kind of pricey right now. I've got, 154. I got the Philippine peso at 57, and just a little bit, is it weaker or stronger? 57.72, 57.96 yesterday. So a little bit tiny bit stronger than it was yesterday. And the South Korean won flat at 1,444. And as I said, Bitcoin moving down. I don't want to say rapidly. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm saying it was 67,000 yesterday, and today the Bitcoin number once again is
64,593.
Right. So it lost about $3,000 worth of value on the Bitcoin in just 24 hours. I don't know that I can that I'm capable of appreciating that ride, especially if you bought when it was high and up in the hundreds and the 90s, and it wasn't that long ago when it was. Anyway, 7:34 in the morning. We got to take a look at what's going on in news and headlines with Charlie Hermosa. This one here being brought to you by the guys over at Hoffaday Realty. Ever since they have been Pika's best, and they're going for that again this year. You got questions about what's happening in the real estate market here on Guam, or maybe you've got a piece of property that you don't know what to do with. They'll have ideas. 588-4232. And the chow is waiting for you over at Burger King. Some of you are not eating meat because it's Lent. That's okay. They've got stuff on the menu for you. Got a sandwich that is made of fish, and they got one Whopper. The Impossible Whopper. It's 100% Whopper, 0% beef, just in time for Lent. At 7:35, Charlie Hermosa with news and headlines. What's going on, buddy?
Former Senator Roy Kanata was the first and only one to file his candidacy on Monday, the opening day for turning in candidacy papers for the 2026 primary elections. Meanwhile, 19 other potential candidates for various offices have started fundraising. The Guam Election Commission started accepting candidate packets, including nominating petitions, as of 8 a.m. on Monday. In other news, Pratehi Guahan is planning to stage a protest against the deep-sea mining on Thursday afternoon at Adelup, where representatives from the Federal Bureau of Ocean Energy Management were scheduled to meet with Governor Lou Leon Guerrero. The group's protest is set for 2:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. on February 26 at the Governor's Complex at Adelup. Visiting BOEM representatives were expected to meet with the governor in Adelup at 3 p.m. that day. Meanwhile, Jeremy Layton Cruz on Monday was sentenced to 120 months or 10 years in federal prison with credit for time served for meth trafficking and money laundering. Cruz, who's 40, appeared before Chief Judge Francis M. Tydenko Gatewood, who imposed a sentence after accepting his guilty plea in November 2025 of conspiring to distribute 50 grams or more of hydrochlorine and conspiring to engage in monetary transaction with proceeds of unlawful activity. He is the third and last of Cruz brothers to be sentenced in the meth case. His brother Eric Cruz is already in jail, and his youngest brother, Jonathan Cruz, died. And those are your local headlines. Back to Ray.
Thanks very much. A couple of the things that I'm interested in, speaking of criminals and folks that are out there, this has got to get tiresome. We talk about the second millennials, and before you got to the operation last night over at the B&B. I don't know what are we supposed to call it? Can we call it B&Bs or Charlies, or do we have to use the formal beans and beans and barrels?
B&B, I think everybody said, B&B.
So the sign outside, it's got the Beans and Barrels logo, and some guy wanders in last night and goes up to the coffee side of the store and says, "I'd like some beans." And the girls are like coffee beans, and he says, "No, Mongo beans. I'd like Mongo beans." And the girls are like, and kind of looking around like, can somebody get this guy out of here? there was a problem that we have here in Guam. We've got so many mental health cases out there and crystal methamphetamine guys walking around mumbling to themselves. Have you started to see more of that, Joe?
Yeah.
Are we
I
at
try
that?
to talk to them.
Are we at that stage?
The three of us.
There's where in the crystal methamphetamine addiction.
It's pretty bad.
It must there's a stage, right? So that where literally these guys. There was a guy that I saw walking down the street. And he was having a conversation with the sidewalk, and he'd stop and he'd motion, he'd keep talking, and he's got his hands moving around, and then he'd start, shuffling up of his feet. So we got guys like that, and there's a story, magistrate report, talking about this woman, Casey Lynn Fuller. Cops responded to a criminal trespass complaint at the Mobile service station up in Dededo. Upon arrival, the officer met with the caller, who informed the officer that Casey had been asked to leave multiple times but refused. Defendant had arrived at the location at 8 o'clock in the morning and was bothering customers by asking them for money and screaming every so often, just every once in a while. I say see, you say ha! Can you imagine how annoying it must be to work at that particular mobile station or get gas at that particular mobile station? It is not the first time the defendant had engaged in similar behavior at that location. And so the cops got to do the cop thing and effect the arrest, right? Get the collar. And my guess is that this Casey Lynn Fuller has probably already back on the street and maybe at a different gas station bothering people for money and occasionally screaming. When I say see, just only had enough juice for that one.
She gets help, man.
Only, yeah. Me too. And I just wonder whether there's any kind of help for people like that around here. Because it seems to me that it is a growing problem, and yet another thing that the residents have got to get used to, and residents on their own have got to deal with it. I was telling you about the guy down in Tumon. He wasn't there this last weekend, and I'm hoping that maybe the conversation I had with Regine has inspired certain people somewhere in the government to go down to Tumon and get rid of some of these guys that at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, are walking up and down the streets in Tumon in the sidewalk, not just having conversations with themselves, but full-blown loud arguments with themselves. And at some point, our visitors, residents are going to take notice and just going, I don't want to go down there anymore. It's feeling dangerous in that part of the community. 7:40 in the morning, there's another magistrate report that I wanted to go over just because I think it's kind of interesting. It has to do with the juveniles that escaped from the juvie place last weekend. There was one guy that was out, and they finally caught up with him, but apparently was like shacking up with his 19-year-old girlfriend.
That's a good reason to get out, man.
Do we have
you gotta get to your chick, bro.
That's it. I gotta. There's a quote. The guy had messaged her, asking, "Do you know anyone that we can lay low at? Do you know anybody we can lay low at?" And apparently the answer was no, because they found him in the boondocks. 7:41 on the Ray Gibson Show. More on the way.
Craving delicious dishes with local flavors? Look no further than Mezcla Bistro. From our juicy burgers to flavorful seafood and local fusion, every dish is made with love and the freshest ingredients. Join us for an unforgettable lunch, dinner, or decadent Sunday brunch. Visit us online at mezclaguam.com or call 671-479-2652 or 671-489-2653 to make a reservation. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro, a true taste of Guam.
Knowledge is power. In just 60 seconds, the Evo 360 provides you a unique experience and a detailed report of your body composition for you to take action to improve your health. The Evo 360, turning information into inspiration to live a balanced lifestyle. Evo 360 is exclusively at the Take Care Wellness Center. Go to Simply Book Me or call 671-646-69 956 extension 7260 for more information and to schedule an appointment with a member of the Take Care Wellness team.
Hey, 7:42 in the morning. My name's Ray, and I've been messing around with old computers and got pretty good advice from somebody about Windows 7 and not to plug it into the internet just yet. Otherwise, it will be virus central. Thank you very much. If you want new technology to play with, then swing by Beyond the Box on the first floor of the Micronesia Mall. You want some new computing technology. Maybe you've got one of those old iPhones that's got cracks and dents and dings on it, won't hold a charge. Get a new one. They have been restocked with iPhone 17s, all your favorite colors, and all of your favorite, I don't want to say combination of features, and the new version of the iOS 26, I think 26.4, which does a couple of interesting things. And by the way, super discounts, if they're still there, super discounts on the remaining AirTag 1s that they have there. There are AirTag 2s that are out. They've updated it and have made one significant major improvement, and that is they're louder. They are louder. If you're an AirTag person, I'm an AirTag. I got dozens of AirTags, and the problem is every once in a while I'll need to go looking for something that is connected to an AirTag, and I have to turn everything in the house off. Turn the radio off, turn the TV off, the air conditioner off. I got to turn everything off because I need to be able to listen for the just this little tiny noise. It's still a whisper, but they've amplified it now, and the new ones are on the way at Beyond the Box, first floor of the Micronesia Mall. Right on, 7:43. Let me just get back to a little bit of the Ray Gibson trying to rehabilitate an old computer, because it's the one computer that will take the memory sticks from that Sony made back in the day, and so I turned the thing on, plugged it into a monitor, and the thing boots right up. Boots right up, as I said, goes into Windows 7, and then I realized, you know what you need to operate a computer? A keyboard. Guess what I don't have at the house? I have no keyboard. I've needed a keyboard outside of work because everything is on a laptop or you use your thumb on the phone. So I had to go and run someplace and go get me a new keyboard. That job was done. Strolled into afternoon traffic in order to get there and was surprised how decent it was yesterday afternoon. 7:44. What's it like this morning? Let me take a look at and see what the map is telling me about traffic. There wasn't a whole lot the last time I looked at it, but oh wow. OMG, traffic on Ipaupau right now, and it's not even Ipaupau. It looked like it's the lower end of Jigo where you're going to start seeing things slow down. I'm just saying, maybe there's somebody over at DPW that isn't waiting for an assignment from the boss. Could you go up to Ipaupau, the intersection at Marine Corps Drive and the Sang Song, and find out why that light is so suki? I mean, traffic is backed up every morning about this time, and it's not like there's a whole heck of a lot of traffic coming off of Isang Song and Leche Mecheche. It's just a bad light during drive time. Somebody's got to go and fix that. Also, likewise, looking at traffic on Route 3, General Ben Blas Drive, coming down to Marine Corps Drive. It hasn't hit it yet, but it's going to. Slowing down over by the intersection by the hospital. You are going to run into slower traffic before you get to Micronesia Mall, but south of that, things are looking pretty clear because everybody's still in Ipaupau. That's why they haven't even passed Woostig yet. What have I got? A little bit of traffic on that side. All right, Route 16, busy at Harmon Loop intersection, busy at maybe Reverend Tax. Oddly, maybe a big funeral or something like that. And I got traffic slowing down in a couple of different directions. One getting into the Guard Center and the other one leading up to Super Happy Mart. So expect a little bit of a delay if you're headed towards 8, 10, and 16 on Route 16. Slower than normal traffic on Route 10 and lousy traffic just before you get to the intersection at 10 and 15. Not so bad over at Tai, not so bad through most of Route 4, but you are going to get the slowdowns in Ordot and Sinahanya just before you hit that downgrade. A little bit of dogging out traffic on Route 8 over by Santa Fe, and that looks like that's it for the hairy traffic. If you're on Marine Corps Drive anywhere south of downtown Agutnia, should be a straight shot all the way down to Big Navy and Sumai. It's 7:46. Do I have Senator Chris Duenas on the line?
Sure do.
We'll get to him next. Stay there.
Lent is about making better choices, so why not make a delicious one? Wendy's Crispy Fish is back for the season. Made with a quality pollock fish fillet, fried golden and full of flavor. Served as a warm toasted sandwich or have a satisfying platter with fluffy rice and a fresh garden salad. It's a perfect Lenten meal that delivers, but it won't last forever. Available for a limited time only at Wendy's.
Travel goals unlocked. Whether it's Korea in the summer or Japan in the fall, the United Credit Card from First Hawaiian Bank can help you turn your urge to explore into your next boarding pass. Apply by October 31st, 2025, and if approved, earn 45,000 bonus miles when you spend $2,000 within the first 3 months after account opening. Unlock your next adventure with the First Hawaiian Bank United Credit Card. It all starts with yes. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit one of our branches or go to fhb.com/United.
747 Ray Gibson Show brought to you by Take Care.
The Coconut Wireless is back. The Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
I got it. I'm looking for something. I'm looking for something. The cartel guy that they unalived yesterday, El Mencho, I'm trying to figure out what that means. Charlie says the name refers to a stain. But wait, hold on a second. I'm looking up. Let me get the senator in on this. Do you know what El Mencho refers to there, Senator Chris Duenas?
Good morning, Ray, and I'll say defer to Charlie, and also huff the day to Real Joe.
All right, got you.
I'll leave that one to Charlie.
All right, so I looked it up on the Googles. He was widely known by his alias El Mencho, a nickname that derives from Nemesio. Another nickname was the Lord of the Roosters. Apparently, he had a love for cockfighting, and you know what? Bring guys like this to Guam, because I think I'm not sure. I don't want to get into the politics of it, but it's fun to talk about politics. But the lieutenant governor has lifted the ban on live deliveries of fowl. Chickens and roosters and that kind of thing, of live chickens, and in the name of food security. But I'm also wondering if it's possible that some of the cockfighters that we've got in this town are excited about the possibility of maybe bringing in some new birds for the games.
Well, timing is everything, Ray.
Amen to that.
Amencho's got some export capabilities now.
Well, no, he's dead. They killed him, and that started off the civil war in Mexico. Yeah, I mean, how many states? Virtually every state in Mexico was experienced some form of violence or another one yesterday. Absolutely fascinating to see what's going on there, as well as the amassing of American war fighting powers just offshore in Iran. And any minute now, I got this feeling that President Trump is going to make a phone call to Hegseth, and Hegseth is going to push a button to pulverize Iran into submission after all of these years. Finally, 10 away from the top of the hour, and there's an interesting story in the Guam Daily Post. It wasn't big enough to make the front page, but as far as this program is concerned, it should be the front page story. A report says the government revenue continues to outpace projections. Chris, what's up with that?
Well, I guess those articles of Sky Didn't Fall are continuing to be reinforced. But I just wanted to express a few things here that I'm a little surprised, by the way that this reporting is coming out. First of all, the net revenue is $38 million because there's $7 million in shortfall from special funds, which general fund has to cover. Mostly the guests, as well as actually tourist traction is not as low as it used to be. It's minus about 180,000. So that's actually starting to perform and move forward. So, and the other issue is this kind of came up in the discussions early in the first session where we had appropriations for GMH and also some other appropriations. That I guess they said they're going to adjust the way they were reporting in terms of the CRER, because the first month or two was only showing about 7 or 9 million positive. And I think what they did was they stopped putting in the set-asides for the 20 million. The first 20 million of excess revenue goes to GMH. And then, of course, the 5 million for DOE. So if we take that 25 million out, you're looking at right there maybe 12, 13 million is the current tracking for excess revenue.
Still high.
Still very solid. Very the BPT. If you look at the BPT, it's not taking near the hit that was contemplated, as well as what many of us believe is other than federal spending. All of this talk about fat cats and we know that one gas company that does of course here people their gas immediately drop the price as soon as the BP was dropped. So we're thinking is that many of the employers that talk shelf and their senators say, look, we're going to give our people raises right away. We need to hold on to them and also against in companies. So I have a feeling that a significant amount of this continuation moving forward is that there is that investment, and the fat cats aren't taking vacations and buying luxury cars and boats. They're actually investing in their businesses. And so I think that really, if you think about it, remember during the Cabo administration, one of the, once we got the book straight and got it passed through for tax refunds, and tax refunds started to come out regularly during our time. Every time we would put $15-20 million, a chunk of money on the streets, basically somewhere after tax time, about May, June, you would always see a major bump in economic activity, BPT, of course, but also, just general activity, right? So people have more money to spend. The companies are taking care of their employees. They're investing. I know a lot of companies are doing upgrades and fixing deferred maintenance and things. So I believe those millions are circulating in our economy and doing what an economy is supposed to do when you have lower taxes and more revenue. The businesses to be able to invest, and that's actually generate revenue. That's exactly what the Trump tax cuts have done, and they're going to do again here.
And so, underscoring a point that I'm going to make on behalf of the taxpayer, we've been overcharged by the government, and we need to start talking about rebate possibilities. I mean, with that kind of money that's floating around, the additional revenue, it is in my mind kind of grotesque that there are all of these other special projects that are getting attention, should have gotten attention based on what they asked the government for last year, and since the taxpayers are overpaying so much, we got to figure out a mechanism to get that money back to them. You want to do that in my power bill? That's great. I'd prefer a direct deposit in my checking account.
I don't disagree with that, Ray, but what I want to say is that at least you're starting for the Republican majority, what we did, and the reason why all of the things are happening at the hospital now, is that we took a great chunk of that excess revenue from prior years, and this is why the administration, for some reason, now is starting to report deficit, which I think that looks significant. It's definitely not appropriation deficit. If there's a cash deficit, that means they're spending somewhere else, and only an audit can show that. But if you look at
people have been asking me about that, and say that there is deficit spending going on. Are you getting reports that of deficit spending or transferring of money? It's required by law that the speaker needs to get notified. My guess is that Frank gets something that says so. He's going to pass that along to you. Are you getting any word that things are moving around beyond what has already been appropriated?
We're getting reports on that. With the only audit that we can go to, and actually a meeting with the public auditor tomorrow on an upcoming oversight that I'm planning. But the only report the best report is the audit, and the only audit we have to go off of is the 23. And if you look at fiscal year 2023 highlights, there was a transfer of $33 million to be able to create the savings account for the self-insurance program. That didn't require an appropriation, so that was just because there was so much excess revenue. The governor, through their powers, basically can make those payments and those adjustments to programs for which cash is available. And that's really, really, really where we come down to what is an appropriation deficit and what is an actual cash deficit, right? Every time I would meet with the governor, she would look over at Ed Byrne and say, Ed, tell them what our bank account is. He said, oh, it's 30 million, 35 million, Governor. We got so much money, right? So the thing is that if this is actually inching into now a cash deficit, that has to be an expenditure, and it has to be on expense side, because every CRER that we based our appropriations on, and every actual bill that the governor signed off on had to be associated with what Ed Byrne always told us, the fund balance. We're doing this because of fund balance, meaning there's cash there. So they're really going to have to true up their books and make a report to us now. But in their general reports, you won't really see that. You won't really see that money that floats around that's not associated with an appropriation. The governor has, the leverage to move money for programs outside of that. You'll see it in the audit, and that's why hopefully soon the 2024 will come out before we actually pass the 2027. We're behind by obviously at least one fiscal year to use for the budgeting process, but hopefully what we'll see then, is really indicative of some overspending possibly in that area. That's really on audit can only do that unless they want to, tell you. And so one thing that we did is we made sure that the bulk of the revenue from prior year went to GMH, and that's why you're seeing all the improvements now. I understand they have a procurement for the panel and that, the throw switch at least, and then the panel design is further down the road. For sure, the chiller has been installed, from what I understand, and then so probably 30 to 40 million of projects are already encumbered, and so the final 20 million is coming from this current year's excess revenue. If you remember, Ray, we did that.
They said there is no excess revenue.
Well,
they said there's no money floating around here.
So maybe what they're not showing in the CRER, but they're talking about is at least this 25 million. That's the first revenue that's dedicated to DOC as well as GMH. So and they're trying to say no excess revenue of prior years. They're saying no more carryover appropriation, which is fine with me. I never liked it anyways. It's funny money. It's true, because basically all it means is if there's cash available and if the governor is willing to use prior year fund balances. So I'm happy this year that I've already put out that letter that says no carryover appropriations. It's going to be ruled out of order if any amendment comes in this year's budget. But at least for what we did on the cash balances prior, that's the reason why the hospital. So going forward, a new governor and a new legislature really should at least take a look at excess revenue and revenues that are tracking above to knock out some of those major projects that we don't have to go to the bond market and finance on to save us money, right?
But again, I want to sit at the same side of the table as most other taxpayers. If we've got all of this additional revenue here, that means somewhere around there has been an overpayment of taxes, and we need to start talking about, as I've put it many times, the taxpayers' Bill of Rights and automatic numbers that after a certain percentage will equal a rebate check back to the taxpayers, and just like the Joe Atta days, if we're flush with cash, that needs to go back to the people that are putting the cash in the pockets. I got to run because the Fox News Live is next. I'll talk to you pretty soon, Chris.
All right, take care. Have a great day, guys.
Shoot. It's Fox on the point.
Is one for the record books. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Millions of Americans dealing with the aftermath of a bomb cyclone that effectively shut down major cities in the Northeast, including New York, Boston, and Philadelphia.
This storm is officially one of the biggest on record for the state, and it could rank even higher once final measurements come in.
Fox Weather's Katie Byrne is in Long Branch, New Jersey.
Took a drive around town just in the last couple hours. We saw downed power lines, dark traffic lights, people digging out, and more than a few cars stuck in the snow. The Monmouth County Sheriff Office activated high water rescue trucks this morning, and crews say they already helped dig out dozens of stranded drivers, but now it's a waiting game for the utility crews to be able to get out and restore power to more than 120,000 customers across the state. Conditions are still too dangerous for some of those repairs right now.
More than 600,000 outages reported in several states after hurricane-force wind gusts in some areas, and the most snow ever for some cities. More than 33 inches now in Providence, Rhode Island. New Jersey just lifting its travel restrictions, but recovery will take a while at airports around the country. Through tomorrow, more than 21,000 flights canceled or delayed. A hero's welcome for the U.S. men's hockey team arriving in Miami this afternoon after their gold medal win over Canada, the first for the men's team since 1980. Captain Austin Matthews telling reporters,
"Feeling great, a little tired, but it feels good to be home and celebrating with the guys, our families last night. It's special. It means a lot."
The women's team also also won gold, and House Speaker Mike Johnson says both teams might be attending the State of the Union. President Trump delivers that address to Congress tomorrow night. Today, a major sell-off on Wall Street, the Dow dropping 821 points after the Supreme Court struck down emergency tariffs and the president announced a new global tariff. America is listening to Fox News.
Welcome back to Nissan Guam Deal of the Year. Okay, we have two contestants left. Phil, Jasmine, are you ready? Let's go.
Phil, you get to decide which you want Nissan Guam to make 3 months or 6 months of your car payments on your next new Nissan vehicle.
Both offers sound so good. Let's see. I'm going for the 6 months.
Great choice. And you too can get your own Deal of the Year. See Nissan Guam first today.
Sit down breakfast? Wendy's. Grab and go breakfast? Wendy's. Big variety? Wendy's. Best value on island? Yeah, you guessed it. Wendy's. From hearty local breakfast platters to breakfast sandwiches and burritos to the morning melt panini made for mornings on the move. Wendy's breakfast has something for every kind of morning. Whether you've got the time to sit or you're heading out the door, Wendy's delivers big flavor and unbeatable value. However you start your day, start it with Wendy's.
News.
Victims' families thanking the president during a White House event, honoring those lost to violent crimes blamed on illegal immigrants.
A day before the State of the Union address, President Trump honored the loved ones of Americans killed by undocumented immigrants like Lake and Riley.
Their death was completely preventable. It shouldn't have happened.
The president and administration officials have pointed to angel families as the reason for an aggressive immigration crackdown.
Not only should her killer not have been released into our country in the first place, but he was released a second time after being arrested in New York City.
President Trump signed a proclamation designating February 22nd as National Angel Family Day, the anniversary of Riley's murder. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
During that event, the president also mentioning his own mortality.
I don't know how long I'll be around. Got a lot of people gunning for me, don't I, huh?
This after a deadly shooting at his Florida estate that remains under investigation. He wasn't there when an armed man breached security yesterday, entering through a gate that was open as vehicles were leaving.
Republicans and even the president's daughter-in-law, Laura Trump, blaming the threats to his life on hateful rhetoric coming from the left.
Well, the gunman at Mar-a-Lago was shot and killed after police say he put down a gas can he was holding but raised up a shotgun when he was confronted. The son of director Rob Reiner pleads not guilty to first-degree murder. Nick Reiner accused of stabbing both of his parents to death in their California home in December. The judge setting a preliminary hearing date of April 29th during today's arraignment. More fallout from the Jeffrey Epstein files as former UK ambassador to the U.S. Peter Mandelson is arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Same basis for the recent arrest of Britain's former Prince Andrew, each under investigation for possibly giving confidential information to Epstein. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Kim Anderson from Security Title here, sharing an important tip about how you own your property. Do you know that there are several ways to hold title? You can be a sole owner, hold title as community property with your spouse, as joint tenants with rights of survivorship as tenants in common, or even through a trust or LLC. Each option impacts inheritance, control, and how your property can be transferred in the future. Your family attorney can help you determine what's best to avoid legal issues and protect your investment. And when you're ready to record, call the professionals at Security Title. We are here to help.
Craving delicious dishes with local flavors? Look no further than Mezcla Bistro. From our juicy burgers to flavorful seafood and local fusion, every dish is made with love and the freshest ingredients. Join us for an unforgettable lunch, dinner, or decadent Sunday brunch. Visit us online at mezclaguam.com or call 671-479-2652 or 671-489-2653 to make a reservation. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro, a true taste of Guam.
News this hour is brought to you by Family Finance.
Have a day and good morning, Guam. It's 8:06. I am Charlie Mosa with a look at your local news on the point. Republican Delegate James Moylan joined Democrat Representative Mike Levin of California in reintroducing a bill that would help disabled veterans get reimbursed for home loan fees. H.R. 7598, or the Veterans Assistance for Loan Origination Relief Valor Act, seeks to modernize the Veteran Affairs VA home loan fee structure and would reimburse veterans and transitioning service members who pay fees and later receive a disability rating and compensation. VA home loans play an essential role in helping service members and veterans achieve home ownership. Meanwhile, a Government Accountability Office report released on February 12 shows that Guam lags behind in spending COVID-19 pandemic recovery funds. GAO, the investigative arm of the U.S. Congress, shows in the report that Guam ranked fourth among the 5 territories when it comes to spending the remaining funds by percentage, ahead of only of American Samoa. 3 of the territories, including the CNMI, already spent 93% to 95% of their funds, while Guam spent 75%. Based on the GAO report, California, New York, Washington, D.C., Illinois, and Massachusetts already spent 100% of their funds, while Minnesota was at 99%. The GAO report shows Guam has already spent 75%, or about $453 million of its COVID-19 pandemic recovery funds as of March 2025, the most recent complete data available for all states and localities at the time of the review. More news after this.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that family vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,000 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña 475-4545 or Dededo 633-4473. Family Finance.
Meanwhile, an armed male suspect was sent to the hospital on Monday afternoon after a police officer involved shooting in Dededo, according to Guam Police Department spokesperson Norman Analista. Analista said GPD units are conducting investigations at a residence in Dededo. GPD received a call about an aggravated assault at around 3:03 p.m. Monday. When responding officers arrived, they found an adult male suspect with a firearm. The incident led to an officer-involved shooting, Analista said. Blue Night Battle of the Bands has been revived as part of the University of Guam's Charter Day 2026 festivities. The High Energy Showcase will take place on Wednesday, March 4th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse. Admission is free and open to the public. Back after 2 decades, the Battle of the Bands will bring Guam together for an unforgettable evening of live music, island talent, and vibrant community spirit, UOG said in the media release. Under this year's theme, Rhythms of Our Legacy, the event honors the voices that shaped UOG's history while spotlighting the next generation of artists ready to take stage and find the next chapter of our island's music scene. And those are your top stories right here on The Point. Now here's Ray with weather.
They'll be in about an hour. We'll have from the University of Guam and Charter Night come into the studio and tell me, give me reasons why I need to attend once again a Blue Night, as I did those many years ago. 10 after 8 o'clock in the morning. I can't apologize for it because it's not me, but we're suffering from unstable internets here this morning, and feeds that are going out to virtually all of the streaming services have been up and down all morning long. You might be experiencing some buffering if you're watching the thing. You're watching on YouTube. You should not have, or not the KUAM TV. You should not have a problem between here and there. I will send a clean feed that you'll be able to watch on the show. Are we going to do anything incredible and so vastly important that you must be listening? Why, absolutely. In fact, right now I'm going to tell you about weather. Showers likely, possibly thunderstorms. Maybe that's why the streams are going up and down this morning. Cloudy skies, daytime highs today about 87 degrees. I got east-northeast winds 15 to 18 miles an hour. Might see some gusts tonight of about between 25 and 28 miles an hour. Same thing for tomorrow. Showers and possibly thunderstorms in the forecast. Wind could produce some heavy, some of the storms could produce some heavy rainfall. Expected highs tomorrow going to be 86 degrees. And again, gusty 29-mile-an-hour winds between here and late Wednesday night. Thursday, we're supposed to be back to mostly sunny sky with which I said typical Guam day, daytime highs of about 86 degrees, but you're going to have to wait a couple days before we get to that. With a heat index today, we'll feel 90 degrees. There's a 70% chance of rain. Expect rip current, ice surf advisories, possibilities of host flooding that could take place today with some of the wind. And let me see if I can get the radar imagery up on the screen so you can see what the big fuss is about. You can make out Guam in the middle of your screen right now, and as you can see, we've got some clouds that are coming in from the eastern side. Some of those clouds might be a little bit soggy and could be bringing some of that those showers to us over the next couple of hours. I think that's it. Sunrise this morning was at 6:40. Sunset tonight about 6:28. That's it. News and weather together on 93.3. This is The Point.
Got friends who still haven't switched to GTA? Now's the time to give them a nudge because you can get up to $150 just for sending them our way. Refer a friend who signs up for a single service like wireless or internet and you'll score $100. And if they go for a choice bundle, that's a cool $150 in your pocket. It's simple, it's sweet, and it pays to share. Visit GTA.net to start referring today. GTA.